Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Govinda Temple. Today we are invited at Loknath Das and Lana Prasad's family. So we will be doing a home program with them and we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. So let us start singing Srila Prabhupada's most favorite bhajan, Jai Radha Madhava Nikunjbihari. Jai Radha Madhava Nikunjbihari, Jai Radha Madhava Nikunjbihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari, Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari. Jashodanandan Vrajijan Ranjan, Jashodanandan Vrajijan Ranjan. Jamuna Tira Vanchari, Jamuna Tira Vanchari. Jai Radha Madhava Nikunjbihari, Jai Radha Madhava Nikunjbihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupada Paramahus Parivrajagacharya Stotra Sada Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवसती गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, अंतर मायापुर धाम की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, समावेद भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. So once more, Sri Sri Radha Govinda is invited at for the house program, and we are reading from Bhagavad Gita. Om Ajnanotimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. Text number 11. Balam balavatam chaham kamarag vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabham. This is a beautiful verse. And the reason we have selected is this, is that the family who is inviting us is actually celebrating a marriage anniversary. Loknath Das and Lana Prasad. So, here, if you read the translation, it says, I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of the Bharata. The strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression. Similarly, sex life, according to religious principles, dharma, should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of parents is then to make their offspring Krishna conscious. So this is a beautiful verse which talks about official marriage life also. Why? Because it says, similarly, sex life, according to religious principles, dharma, should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. The responsibility of parents is then to make their offspring Krishna conscious. So, it is okay to have a relationship for a man with a woman and for a woman with a man. But the thing is that when they are united, they will have children. They should not have it happen without going through a proper ritual of getting married. Then the reason here it explained is the calm or desire is the hankering of the mind for objects that are invisible and not yet obtained. So, what activates or triggers sex is calm or desire. So, the calm or desire is the hankering of the mind for objects that are invisible and not yet obtained. While raga or passion is the clinging and craving for the visible and obtained objects. So, balam balamvata kamaraga vivarjitam. So, kamarag is the word here. One word is meaning desire, and rag means to clinging to what you have already obtained. That strength is abuse which is directed towards the fulfillment of desire and passion. On the other hand, the strength utilizes on noble and holy causes gets sanctified. The strength which is utilized on noble and holy causes gets sanctified. The doing of Ravana and Rama are the examples of the abuse and proper use of strength. So both were powerful. Ravana was also equally powerful and Rama was also equally powerful. But Ravana used his strength, he abused it, where Ram himself was using as a proper use of his strength. So, desire as such is not a vice. The desire to eat is a sanctioned one when it is prompted by hunger. The desire for self-immolation is a virtue. The desire to excel another in good conduct is laudable. The keen desire to obtain the grace of the Lord is a divine gift and a prelude to God vision. So, here, when they say that I am the strength of the strong and divide of desire and passion, in beings I am desire not contrary to dharma or chief of Bharata. And also, it is explained, same thing, we have to define and redefine and again try to understand every word of this particular verse. So, when it say about balam balam batachaham, when we are talking about the might, let's talk about the might. The might which is accompanied with desire, passion and egoism and anger, etc., is a demoniacal type of might referred, and the renunciation of which has been stressed earlier in Bhagavad Gita. Even so, sexual desire which runs counter to virtue, being a principal element of demoniacal nature, in the root of all evils, a gate to hell and worth giving up. The might and desire which are of a different type from those referred to above, that is irreproachable might, and pure desire alone are worth praising. By addressing Arjuna as the best among the Bharatas, the Lord indicates that Arjuna, being descended from Bharata, possessed neither the demoniac type of might nor the foul and impious type of desire. He was possessed for a might which was free from desire and passion, and of a sexual desire which was in consonance with righteousness. The Lord speaks of such might and such desire as his own manifestation. So, we saw that these things are there. Everyone has power, energy, and also kind of desire in everyone's heart. So here, if you go back to the verse again, then it says, if the material desires of the living entities are not fulfilled, their hankering increases. So, you may have desire. Sometimes desires are fulfilled and sometimes they are not fulfilled. That's why it says here, if the material desires of the living entities are not fulfilled, their hankering increases. When such desires increases, lust is aroused. From the desire, the lust is aroused. When the objects to satisfy lust are supplied, lust increases even further. So, what happens? That hankering is increasing and desires is increased as well. Lust is aroused. And when the objects of satisfying lust are supplied, lust increases even further. Therefore, lust is very difficult to control. It is like sometimes we do here fire sacrifice, and the wood is burning, and we have clarified butter, ghee, and we pour into the fire, swaha, whatever mantra we chant, Om Vishnave Namah Swaha, or some Bhagavad Gita verse and the Swaha, whatever. But saying Swaha, Swaha, we keep pouring the ghee in it. It's a liquid. And instead of the fire being calmed down, the fire is increased. More ghee you put, more the fire is increased. So, this is the perfect example. That lust increases even further. Therefore, lust is very difficult to control. When lusty desires are not satisfied, as they never are, one feels pressured. When lust is a little relieved, the mind may feel a little happy, but not satisfied. Little bit of happiness is one thing, and full satisfaction is something else. So, when lust is a little relieved, the mind may feel a little happy, but not satisfied. Because lust has also increased. To free oneself from such hallucination and become permanent happy, one must avoid ignorance and passion and take to Krishna consciousness. The power to control lust and tolerate the urges of senses is due to Lord Krishna's mercy. Here comes a very, very important point, that the power to control lust and tolerate the urges of the senses is due to Lord Krishna's mercy. The word cha signifies is that the inclination to encourage in spiritual life is due to Krishna. So here it says, Balam balavata chaham kamarag vivarjitam dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharat varshava. Right? So, the desire to get out of this world also emanates from him. So, let's say you enjoy. So, the inclination to engaging in spiritual life is also because of mercy of Krishna. And that the desire to get out of this world also emanated from him. Worldly people who are engaged in unrestricted lusty affairs are therefore devoid of Lord Krishna's mercy. Producing a Krishna conscious child according to Vedic principles is a representation of Lord Krishna, but not sex life that is contrary to Vedic principles. So, this is a very important part, that some people just enjoy the bodies And then they have the abortion and all kind of thing, which is not at all recommended in our movement. Because if you really want to enjoy dharma aviruddho, desire not conflicting with virtue or scriptural injunction, dharma viruddho and aviruddho. So, this is a Sanatan Dharma injunction. The word Sanatan means that which has existed forever and will never perish. God alone is ultimately substratum of the whole creation, both animate and inanimate, and everything originates from Him. It is therefore quite in fitness of the things that He should declare Himself to be the eternal seed of the entire creation. So Lord Himself says that Aham bija pradapita. So if there is a child, he has a father and he has a mother. Both are there. But father is the one who gives a seed to mother, and then mother is bearing that child in her womb, and after 9 or 10 months she gives or delivers a baby. So this is a process. Similarly, God says that you are all my children and I am the seed-giving Father. I am the Father of all of you. The Lord calls Himself the imperishable seed, and again He refers to Himself as the seed of all beings. An ordinary material seed is neither without beginning nor imperishable. God alone is such a seed. Hence the Lord calls Himself the eternal seed. The pure cognitive faculty which ascertains all objects and which controls and regulates the mind and sense is called buddhi, the intellect. He whose cognizance faculty is highly developed is referred to as a man of intelligence. This cognitive faculty being a part of apara prakruti or lower nature of the God. The Lord says that He is the reasoning faculty which is essential feature of the intelligence. Even so, tejas or glory stands for the power of influencing others. A person possessing this power in abundance is called glorious. This power also being a part of the apara prakruti or God, the Lord speaks of both these powers as same as Himself. So, these are some of the things we already read. We can also have some more input from some other intellectuals who say that of the strong I am the strength, devoid of desire and attachment. In all beings I am the desire, unopposed to dharma, best among the Bharatas. So having thus served with different examples to the seekers of average intelligence and dullest, what were those two things that we are talking about? So we have to go back in the beginning of the chapter, right before this verse, Krishna says that Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryoho pranava sarva vedeshu shabda khe paurusham nrushu. I am the sapidity in waters, O son of Kunti. I am the light in the moon and the sun. I am the syllable Om in all the Vedas, sound in the space, and virility in man. So, I am the sweet fragrance in the earth and the brilliance in the fire, the life in all the beings, and I am austerity of all the austeres. That which remains in a substance from beginning to the end constantly and ever, without which the thing cannot ever maintain its identity, is called its dharma, which is the law of being. The examples of sapidity in water, radiance in the sun and the moon, Om in all the Vedas, sound in Akash or sky, sweet smell in earth, luminosity in fire, manhood in man, and austerity in the austere, all clearly indicate that self is that which gives each individual phenomenon its own existence. In short, as the stanza declares, the self, the life in all beings. So it is Atma. We may see it as a body and different parts of the body, but actually it is because of presence of the spirit soul. Krishna further says, Bijamma sarvabhutana viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhi matamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham. What it means? That know me, O Parth, as the eternal seed of all beings. I am the intelligence of the intelligent, the splendor of the splendid. Not satisfied with the above enumeration, which can truly indicate its full significance only to those who have a fairly well developed subtle intelligence, the Lord is compelled to indicate the same truth through some other more obvious factors. He says in this stanza, I am the ancient seed of all beings. Not satisfied with this statement, as an artist would mix more colors afresh and repeatedly paint again and again to bring out his theme more vividly into the perception of the onlookers. Bhagavan gives here two more beautiful instances by which we can get an insight into the relationship between the gross perceivable matter and the subtle impeccable spirit. The Lord says, I am the intelligence of the intelligent. The intelligent man constantly expresses a greater amount of divinity in his thoughts and ideas. In that intelligent man, the self is the intelligence, the subtle power because of which the individual is capable of bringing out into manifestation an expression of such brilliant intelligence. Similarly, it is also said that the self is that which beams out through the beautiful and energetic. In other words, through the instrument of our intellect, it is consciousness in us that expresses itself as an intelligent individual. As a parallel, we can say that electricity is the light in the bulb, the heat in the heater, and is the music in the radio. So you see that all these instruments or all these machines that we are talking about, some machines are cooling. For example, refrigerator. When it's plugged into the outlet, the electricity runs into refrigerator, and whatever is there in the refrigerator cools down. But it's the same energy when we put it in the heater and the electricity runs through the heater, it gives the heat. Before in the refrigerator, the same electricity produce cold. Here in the heater, the same electricity was able to produce heat. And a radio or television or something attached to that electrical power will produce some kind of sound, some kind of music, some kind of picture. We have plugged in this camera that takes the picture, but it's all electricity. So, having thus served with different examples to seekers of the average intelligence and the dullest in this stanza, the Lord is trying to indicate the eternal self to the most intelligent students who have the capacity to do subtle reflections upon such philosophical ideologies. I am the strength in the strong, right? Balam balavatam chaham. I am the strength in the strong. This statement is evidently as easy to comprehend as the example given in the previous stanza. But the statement outshines the previous set of examples because here Krishna uses a phrase qualifying balam. Generally, an individual expresses his might and strength only when he is goaded by his desire or attachments. Without these two inner urgencies, it is impossible for us to see any expression of might or strength. Desire, kama, and attachment, raga, are generally considered by students of Vedic literatures as almost anonymous. But very thoughtfully, we have given us the distinctions between these two powerful impulses. Kama is desire for what is absent at present in the scheme of our life. For example, I want to win a lotto, that's a kama. But I need $1. I have to go to a store. I have to buy the lotto. Not only that, but millions of people are buying lotto, and I should be the only winner. Then only I get the lotto money, otherwise it's not possible. So desire is something that you are longing for something which is not even existing for you. So here once more, desire for what is absent at present in the scheme of our life. And what is raga? Raga is affection for what one has obtained. For example, I have a pen and I am very attached to that pen. Somebody is asking, may I borrow your pen? I say, well, make sure you give him back. Why? Because I am so much attached to that pen that I don't like to give you. But reluctantly I give you, and I wait until you finish your writing, then I borrow it back, and this is how it works. So whatever you have obtained, and we have attachment for that, that is a raga. But something that even you don't have, but still you desire, and that's known as a desire. So these are the two emotions lashed up by which individuals or communities or societies or nations generally come to explore themselves to express their might and strength, balam. riots and agitations, battles, and wars are all ever motivated by these two dangerous urges, which are those desire and raga, attachment. In the subtle definition of the self, the Lord here brings a new life of the thought, here for contemplation of the seeker. He says the self is not merely the strength in the strong, but I am the strength devoid of desire and attachment. So, when it comes to Krishna, he doesn't have any desire. Not only that, he has no any attachment for whatever he has not obtained or whatever he has obtained. So, desire and attachment is absent in Sri Krishna. As though not satisfied with his own definition, the Lord gives yet another example. I am desire in being unopposed to dharma. We had explained the term dharma as a law of being. The essential factor in a man is the divine consciousness. All actions, thoughts, and ideas entertained by him, which are not opposed to the nature of his essential divine essence, constitute his dharma. All actions and thoughts that hasten the evolution of man to rediscover his essential divine nature are considered righteous actions, which is we call dharma. While all activities of the mind and intellect that take him away from his true divine nature and make him behave like an animal and degrade him in his evolutionary status are called unrighteousness behaviors. In other words, we call it Sanskrit adharma. With this understanding of the term dharma, the second line of the stanza becomes very clear. Which is the second line? Let's go back and see the second line. Dharma avirdo bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. So, with this understanding of the term dharma, the second line of the stanza becomes very clear. All desires that are not unrighteous for the beings, therefore, means the glorious urge in the evolvers to meet their own inner weaknesses courageously and bring out a complete co-summation, their evolutionary urge to seek and to discover the goal of self-perception. This is a subtle power that is indicated here. The Lord says, I am not the sadhaka, but I am the burning aspiration in him to discover and become one with the immutable self. By the above examples, does it mean that the spirit has been really captured and imprisoned in by matter? How can the limited limit the unlimited? So, that is further explained that the whole material nature is working under the direction of three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. All beings, due to their past deeds, are struggling in these three modes. Those who are in goodness are able to control their senses and remain peaceful. Those who are in mode of passion are proud and emotional, and those in ignorance are controlled by hankering and lamentation. Although everything is created by Lord Krishna, he is not entangled in anything. In other words, Lord Krishna is not controlled by the material modes. Just as a watchmaker, after making a watch, is no longer involved in its functioning. So yes, watchmaker is making a watch. There is a spring which very tightly put together on a stud. Next to it there is a circular shaped roller, and then there are bigger rollers and smaller ones, and it's intricate, very intricate composition or construction or manufacturing art, that one moves, the other one moves as fast as the before. So twice as speed, I should say. And the third one moves like 4 times speed. And the fifth one may move like 8 times speed. But they are all moving. And the particular watch, once is activated, then it will go on forever. So similarly, just like a sun is rising every day and setting every day, similarly, there are so many things that God has created that once He put it in the motion, we don't have to even look at it. It will keep going on and on and on and on. For example, a union of a man and a woman, and that will produce sons or daughters. And with many sons and daughters, when the man and woman gets married, again they will produce many sons and daughters, and mutually they will be also getting married, and they will have son and daughter. So once, like in Bible they say Adam and Eve, similarly God has establishing this particular relationship between man and woman, the population will just keep growing, growing, growing without any hindrances or obstacles. It will go on. Similarly, the watchmaker has made a watch, and without getting involved in the function of that particular watch, he just walks away from the watch. Similarly, Lord has put some of His creations into motion, and it keeps. So here in this particular verse, the lust keeps the world go around, we should say. Because as long as the lust is there, the desire is there, it will try to quench the thirst, and that way it will go on forever. Being deluded by the 3 modes, the whole world does not know that I am above the modes and inexhaustible. One may wonder how it is possible that the supremacy of Supreme Lord is not known to everyone in this world. Here Lord Krishna replies that it is due to the living entities being controlled by the 3 modes of material nature. The Supreme Lord is beyond modes and independent of them as well. The living entities, by virtue of their existence within the modes of nature, are always in illusion, and their intelligence is misguided. As long as they are in ignorance, they cannot meditate on the transcendental form of the Lord. Being under 3 modes of nature, the living entities are entangled in material activities that are all sensory and aimed at sense gratification. Due to this, even the demigods sometimes cannot understand that Lord Krishna is the well-wisher and source of all beings. How Shri Krishna is Supreme Lord of all lords, infallible and full of knowledge, can only be understood by the devotees. The divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is very difficult to overcome, but those who are surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. So Krishna says, Devi Yesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya. Mama Maya Duratyaya, very difficult to conquer. Mameveya prapadyante maya metam tarantite. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is very difficult to overcome. But those who are surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond this. And that's why in this particular temple, we have the deity of Srila Prabhupada. Anybody is coming will a chance to surrender to Srila Prabhupada, through him to connect to the disciplic succession, his guru and his guru and his guru. Similarly, the final guru is Lord Shri Krishna. So, just by surrendering to Srila Prabhupada, one can easily connect himself to Lord Shri Krishna. Now, we already discussed about Balam, Balavata. So, there is a beautiful story when it comes to Bala. Bala means strength. Now, Krishna is called Bhagavan. Bhagavan means six. One who is possessing six kind of opulences. The word is for him in Sanskrit, Bhagavan. What are those opulences? Shri, the wealth. Shakti, that's what we are talking, Balam, or energy. Kirti means fame. All over, everybody know Krishna, right? Kanti, beauty. Gnan means knowledge. And Vairagya means renunciation. So he is possessing all these kind of opulences. And among them, one of them is Bala, or the strength, physical strength or any other kind of energy in some way. So, there is a very beautiful story here. Once upon a time, King Vishwamitra, son of Gadi, accidentally arrived at the hermitage of the great sage Vasishtha. He was followed by a huge army. Through the grace of Nandini, a celestial cow, yielding all desires, Vasishtha treated the monarch along with his army to dishes of various kinds and gave him a present of jewelry, wearing apparel and ornaments. The wonderful cow caught the imagination of Vishwamitra, who asked Vasishtha for same. Vasishtha refused to part with the cow on the plea that she had been kept by him for service of gods, the mains and the newcomers, as well as for sacrificial purposes. So what happened that when Vishwamitra came in the hospitality, Vasishtha Muni gave him a lot of things to eat, drink, and a lot of goodies, some kind of presents and gifts and all that. But it was all because of the Kamadhenu Nandini cow. Just like a wish-fulfilling trees are there, right? Chintamani. Similarly, they have the cows who will fulfill all your desires. So all which Vasishtha had to do is ask the Nandini or the cow that we have so many guests and try to feed them the food and whatever they need, try to supply. And this is a celestial cow given by the demigods to Vasishtha so that he can perform the yagna. When it comes to yagna, you need ghee, you need butter, milk, right? Wood, samid, all the oblations for the fire. And the cow will provide all that. That's why the cow was there. But now, when Vishwamitra learned of this, he thought that Vasishtha is a single person here. Why he does need the cow? He can live as a sannyasi, simple living. But I have this army of 60,000 soldiers and I have to feed them every day. And we have to walk around from city to city. Why don't I have the cow? The celestial cow who will fulfill all our requirements. So he asked for that cow and Vasishtha refused. Now, Vishwamitra was proud of the strength in man and arms. He wanted to take her away by force. When Vasishtha said, no, you cannot have my cow, he wanted to take away Nandini by force. Nandini approached Vasishtha and piteously told him that the hard-hearted men of the royal army mercilessly belabored her with whips and gadgets and wondered how he had shut his eyes to their tyranny. So cow says, I have been with you so many years, and now these people are forcefully taking me away, and you are still quiet. You don't say nothing. Why? So Vasishtha gave her the following reply. And he says, Kshatriyanam balam tejo, Brahmanam kshama balam. Well, when it comes to Kshatriyas, Vishwamitra and all the soldiers, their strength is there. Kshatriyas are very strong. All they possess is strength. In Brahmanamam Kshamabalam, those who are Brahmins, they don't have to offer anything but Kshama. They forgive the person. So, the strength of Kshatriya lies in their indomitable courage, while the strength of Brahmanas lies in their forbearance. I cannot give up forbearance. You can leave me if you please. Nandini assured the sage that none could take her by force if he did not forsake her. And Vasishtha, in his turn, gave her to understand that he had no intention to abandon her and that she was at liberty to stay if she could. Therefore, Nandini assumed a terrible aspect. Her tail began to rain fire. Thereafter, the host of barbarous tribes sprang up from her tail. The army of Vishwamitra was utterly unfounded. Nandini's host did not kill a single member of the royal army. They all fled in terror. Vishwamitra saw no one who could protect him. Then he was filled with great wonder and said, Dik balam kshatriya balam, brahma tejo balam balam. See upon the might of the Kshatriyas, the strength in the shape of spiritual growth of the Brahmins in real strength. Thereafter, King Kalmasabda, who had assumed the form of demon under the force of an incarnation, killed all the sons of Vasishtha at the instigation of Vishwamitra, yet Vishwamitra did not try to retaliate because it is Brahmanas. And then what happened that after so much austerity and penances, Vishwamitra became a Brahmana. So what it is, the Kshatriyas have certain virtues and they have to advance themselves in order to become a Brahmin. So having attained the highest position as a Brahmin, the pious sage Vasistha too offered his homage to the Brahmana sage Vasistha. Adhyapanam, Adhyayanam, Yajanam Tasa Danam Pratigriyam Chaiva Brahmananam Kalpate. If you can develop, cultivate this kind of virtues, this kind of qualities, give up your Kshatriya qualities and develop Brahmanical virtues and qualities, then you could be called as a Brahmana. So in Ramayana of Valmiki, we have it that Vishwamitra then renounced his sovereignty and undertook austere penances, and a result of the terrible penance extending over thousands of years, he gradually earned the title of Rajarshri, a royal sage, and Maharshi, a great sage, and finally became known as a Brahmarshi, a sage among the Brahmanas. At the instance of gods, the forbearing Maharshi Vasistha acknowledged him as a Brahmarshi in the end. Vishwamitropi Dharmatma Labdha Brahmanya Uttamam Pujyamasa Brahmarshi Vasistham Japatam Varam. So finally this was the result that even Vasistha changed the views about Vishwamitra, who was very violent one time, and all he had was balam, the strength, physical strength, no mercy whatever, and no qualities of Brahmana. But once he developed those qualities, then Vishwamitra himself appreciated and glorified him by saying, Vishwamitropi Dharmatma. He is the Dharmatma. Labdha Brahmanya Uttamam. He is the best among Brahmanas. Pujiyamas Brahmarshi. He is a Brahmarshi. Right? And Vasistham Japatam Varam. And he blessed him with all kinds of blessings. So this was a very beautiful verse. Once again, we related to the wedding ceremony, marriage ceremony, and balam balavata chaham kamarag vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshabam. O Arjuna of the mighty, I am the might free from passion and desire in beings. I am the sexual desire, not conflicting with virtue or scriptural injunction. And that's why in our religion, and almost in every religion, this particular institution known as marriage is very auspicious. And today, Lokanath family and Lana family, they are celebrating their marriage anniversary, and we wish you many, many good wishes for that family, and may Krishna help them in continuing their family life and their love for Lord Radha Krishna. Today they have invited Radha and Krishna in their home. If you are watching as your friends, then you should be offering something to Shri Radha Govinda. Behalf of Lokanath family, we already offer a wonderful feast to Shri Radha Govinda. Now the pujari, as she is walking in, will be able to offer the arti. So be ready if you have incense, ghee lamp, water, hanky, flower, chamar, and peacock fan. So just keep an eye on the pujari, try to offer all those paraphernalia that we described, and we'll be singing the Gaur Arti from Gita. So please join. Ki bajayo jaya Gaura Chande Aruti Koshobham. Ki bajayo jaya Gaura Chande Aruti Koshobham. Jhanvi Tatvan Jagman Lobha. Jhanvi Tatvan Jagman Lobha. Dakshinitai Chant Bam Gadadhar. Dakshinitai Chant Bam Gadadhar. Nikate Advaita Shri Vasachatradara. Nikate Advaita Shrini Vasachatradara. Basi ache Gaurachan Ratnu Singhasan. Basi ache Gaurachan Ratnu Singhasan. Arti Koren Brahma आदिदेव गणे आरती करेन ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गणे नरहरि आदि कोरी चामर झुलाय नरहरि आदि कोरी चामर झुलाय संजय मुकुंद बासु घोष आदि गाय संजय मुकुंद बासु घोष आदि गाय शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परम रसाला मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परम रसाला शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बहु कोटि चंद्र जीनी बदन उजाल। बहु कोटि चंद्र जीनी वदन उजाल। गाल देशे वनमाला और जलमाला। गाल देशे वनमाला और जलमाला। शिवा शुक नारद प्रेम गदा गदा। शिवा शुक नारद प्रेम गदा गदा। भक्ति विनोद देखे गोरार संपदा। भक्ति विनोद देखे गोरार संपदा। की बजाया जय गौरचंद आरती को शोभा। की बजाया जय गौरचंद आरती को शोभा। जानवी सचवन जगमन लोभा। जानवी सचवन जगमन लोभा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha, Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshivaya Namaha, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshivaya Namah, Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana, Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana, Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohan, Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohan, Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namah, Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namah, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshivaya Namah, Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshivaya Namah, Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana, Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana, Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohan, Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohan, Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita, Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita, Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavat Gita, हरि गुरु वैष्णव भगवत गीता। श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ। श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ। श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। हरि नारायण नम कृष्ण यादवाय नमः। हरि नारायण नम कृष्ण यादवाय नमः। यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः। यादवाय माधवाय केशवाय नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। 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 जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन। प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। नमो विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजाचार्य स्तोत्र सदा भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की, भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की, अंतर्विप मायापुर धाम की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, समावेद भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद। All goodies to assemble devotees, all goodies to assemble devotees, all goodies to assemble devotees, all goodies to Guru and Gauranga. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Lad Dhaina. Hiranyakashipurvaksharam. Shilatankan Khalaya. Bijo Nasiho Parato Nasiho. Yata yata mitato Nasiho. Bahir Nasiho Hridaye Nasiho. Narasimham Gavim Sharanam Prapadyam. Tav kar kamal vare nakam adbhuta shringam. Dalita hiranyakashipu anu bringa. Keshavadrutam Narhari Rupam. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jai Jagadish Hare. Jaya Nrsingadev, 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 Jaya Nrsingadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radha. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय. So thanks for joining for this home program at Loknath Das and Lana Prasad for their marriage anniversary. Please bless them a long, long, very long life and wonderful family life. So this particular week, starting from 18th of August, we will have a jeweler right here in this temple room. 1890, 20, 21. On 22nd, we are celebrating the appearance of Lord Balaram. So these are the very, very auspicious day, and exactly at this time of hour, please come and have a darshan of Sri Sri Radha Govinda. Participate in Abhishek as well as jeweler and rest of the programs. Wonderful prasadam feast. Socialize yourself with all the devotees. Make sure you come. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.